Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is part two on the MacBook Pro. This is going to be just assembling of the computer, which I'm not going to record the whole thing because otherwise it's going to be just so long. And you have the first part, which I was very meticulous to remove. I just want to show in this section the new parts. So let me put actually this all component in here, and let me get the one which I already opened up just to see that it was a correct one, and it is. So I put this ones in here so I don't mix it with the other ones. So I talked to the owner, David, and he agreed with what I recommended because some of the components are, or some of the other capacitors are, hopefully you guys can see. Let me actually turn the uh, recording on in here, or the screen recording. Yep. Yeah, perfect. Even though we see a little bit of a gray, the recording is recording just what the camera is bringing in here, so we're fine. So what I was going to say is like even though these are big components, these capacitors, they're very close to these small ones. I'm going to move to the left so you guys can see how populated this area is. And I was looking at all these other ones that are like darker, but our shore or my shore on this computer is gone. So the only one that was bad, it was this one. What caused that to be bad? I don't know. It's no moisture in the whole computer. I also don't want to stress this board with heat because these ones, in order to get removed, they need a lot of heat. It's not like these small ones that I can just use the hot tweezers and they will be coming out like nothing. Sometimes you need to do that. You can use Captain Tape, which is special for that, but I recommend him to not do that and just replace this and use the laptop for whatever it lasts. It's a 2012, so hopefully it will last another 8 years. It's already, getting into the obsolete era because it's slow, but he likes it, and it's a Macintosh, it's a MacBook Pro, Retina display, so it's in very good shape. So I don't, I gave him that. It's a good computer compared to Windows. It's definitely going to last for a long time. All right, so we're going to install this. Let me just turn my hot air station on because again, it's the only way that we can do this. I also bought a brush to get some of this dust out because this board is just filthy. And this is a um, very good brush. I might just don't need to put this onto ultrasonic with just one there. I can just clean this area with alcohol or circuit board cleaner that I have, and it will be good. All right, so the hot air station is it is good. I need to probably put a little more solder on those pads. So hopefully everything is going good on the recording. Let me just stop 1 second the recording to make sure that we are doing it good here because sometimes it doesn't work. All right, guys, I went to see the first video too, and I noticed that I have a lot of frame losses on the video capture, and it's because the settings that I was using for this were not the correct ones. So I want to show what I did for those who use OBS, which is Open Board Studio software. Go over to settings. Um, you go to settings. Sorry, I'm taking the time for this, but I think it's important too. You go first to output, and in there, I make sure that you have, the same settings that we have here. Let me start recording all this like that. You guys can see it as well. So let me cancel here because otherwise it doesn't record. Can I do, let me see, start recording. Can I check the settings now? Oh, it does. So hopefully it's recorded, otherwise I will say it. So in the output, you're going to go over to the recording. Make sure that you are setting into the recording quality to indistinguishable quality, which is a large size file, but it's okay. I mean, you have to have a good hard drive for this if you're doing recording. And then the next thing you need to do is make sure that you are setting your frame rate for 30. Don't use the 60 frames per second because I thought, oh, more frames. Like in a camera, you get more frames or you can play with the output at the end whenever you're doing the edit. And no, that's not the case in here. Use 30 frames per second. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of frame losses, which is exactly what I was experiencing in there. All right, so that's it. So let me show you. Also, the stopping is immediately. So let me just show you this short video. Um, what is it? It should be here. Let me just double check that that setting part was being recorded as well, because now I can go and see the whole video. Nope, that part was not recorded. So just do as I said, because it's not, it doesn't record, it only is recording what this camera is. It's not recording the screen, it's recording this camera. So that's why I didn't record that. So sorry. All right, it's almost dinner time. So let's get to working here. So everything that I was showing before is only going to be in the video here, not in there. So let me start the recording in here and put the camera in focus. It's so easy to get the camera in focus with this setup. Let me put the, I need to put more not leaded flux, or sorry, leaded flux. I have actually not shared with you guys what I'm using. And these are, I will post on the link. These are, I have a thick one and a fine one, depending on where you're working, right? I think this is going to be good. I just need to, I usually put just the cords back so they're not in my way when I'm not using it. And that should work. Yeah, I have a big tip in here. This one is going to transfer a lot of heat to, um, it's going to transfer a lot of heat. So let me put some flux in there. Sometimes you can use also a preheater for this kind of situations. It's a less impact. That should be okay. That's all we need here. Let me, I was just telling my wife because she's watching the movie and she's like, oh, oh. But it's like I tell abuse baby because I'm not sure if those screams are going to be part of the video or not. I mean, I'm in my house, so I cannot expect them to be 100% quiet, but she's watching a movie, which is fine. It's part of life, right? So, all right. So the nice thing about this hot air station from Hakwa is I can activate it right here from the gun itself. So I set it up to a 540 degrees Celsius. I usually just wait for the gun to get, it will beep when it's ready. Sometimes I just like to get it here to the board. 1 second. So I want to warm this up a little bit because that's what you need to do. Make sure the board is warm. So just spray the temperature around a little bit, and that solder is a less temperature necessary to melt it. Put the capacitor close to where it will go, And make sure always when you're working with capacitors, obviously they got a positive and a negative. So I can have just ready to go here. I want to melt down those a little bit. They're starting to melt. I can see the change in color. And that should be good enough. The nice thing about this one too, you set them in there, it shuts it off by itself. It gives a cool down period of time, so it's protecting the same heating element not to burn, because if you shut the air, it will just melt the heating element. All right, guys, that's it. I mean, it's pretty easy and simple when you got the right equipment. It's funny. Well, probably because of the heat that um, holes, or there may be fabric like that. I don't know, but either way. So right now I'm going to clean this and put it back into the computer. And luckily I turn it on. And as soon as I got everything almost together, I will start the video back again so you guys can see at least the final process of putting the laptop together and connecting it back. All right. I don't want to make the video too extra long. The first part was super long, and this one probably is going to be half an hour, hopefully. All right, guys, be right back. My guy, before I go, I want to show a little bit of a cleaning, because I'm letting it cool down, which is important. I mean, I'm gonna get the thermal camera, but because you don't want to give too much of a heat difference shock to components like hot and then cold. You don't want to do that. Like throwing alcohol with like a brush or something. I have some other brushes in here that I usually use to clean the components. This tray is getting too crowded. I put too many things and I'm like, oh yeah, I might need this, and then I might need that, and then all of a sudden it's just too many things. It's not there. So what I want to show you is how I clean it. You can also, I use these dusters. I buy them in boxes, because they're it's compressed air, clean compressed air that you can use for electronics. Those are really good as well. And I have this, which is like a almost like a toothpaste, a toothbrush, but I use that to clean sometimes, especially um, when I'm removing the flux, and I cannot find the one that I really want to show. Oh yes, right here. And this one is a short one. This is the one that I use most common. You can find those in Amazon. I like this one a lot more because I can go straight to the. Make sure that you always leave it to cool down. Right now it's not even warm. For a small area like this, I mean, do you really want to clean the entire board? Not really that necessary. You want to remove the flux? Yes, you do. And sure, alcohol is not really a problem in here. Just be careful and gentle when you're working with the small components. Like we have a lot of small capacitors around. The main thing that we need to do here is dry that up. But as you will see in a second, I mean, it's truly clean. We'll still have some residues, and that's what you need to remove. So just keep going. Looks like it got here, right? Yep. So just, brush it. Yes, I have just a rack here, so to remove the flux from the brush itself. And for this same situation, I have a lot of alcohol, so I got a lot of stuff to clean in case coronavirus. Luckily, by doing work like this, packages are coming from days, 5, 6 days at least. So most likely, it's not going to be anything on the stuff you touch. But still, you got the mailman, right? So just be careful. I just hope that we'll make it good through these rough times. This government wasn't really prepared. They thought it was going to be a joke. This is not going to happen here. Well, it is happening. I cannot believe that he said that he's okay by having 100 to 200,000 deaths. Are you really kidding me? I mean, I cannot really swallow that. So that's looks really good. I mean, I have also, which I think I put here. Let me see. Yeah, it's right here. This is the other thing that I use. It's a flux remover, and this is a lot more stronger than the alcohol. Let's use this too. Oop, I almost flipped that there. And these are all electronic safe. This will leave no residues here. That's what it's made for. Trying to remove all those marks that I did too as well. For the capacitors that I thought I was going to replace. I should be cleaning that brush every time before I put it back in there. I forgot. Try to do this before you sink it back into the fluid so you're not contaminated it. I mean, this is a cleaner, so any debris will go down to the on the bottom of the container, so it's not really that important. For those that work in electronics, they know what I'm talking about. Usually, even in the ultrasonic, you let it seat and then you can clean the bottom. You don't have to really replace the chemicals all the time. This is a waste. All right, so let's try this up and see how that looks. And one thing that I would do after here is also use the same heat guns from the distance just to heat it up and make sure that nothing stays there. Now you'll see what the difference is between the alcohol and this other product. You can see now that is just a mark of clean. There is no flux left. As you can see, it's nice and dry. This was the capacitor that I just replaced. The alcohol is good sometimes to see things on the board because this one dries up and like kind of like white. For those that wants to get it, this is from MG Chemicals Flux Remover. I use a lot of this company. I bought also a gel for, and I want to share this with you guys too. For those that are working on computers, when you have like an ABS module, I know I'm off the camera right now because I'm trying to take this and show you. So give me just 1 second, guys. So what I was saying, for those that want to do like or work in an ABS module, that clear gel, which is an electric and thermal paste, so it protects the board for vibrations and uh, water, etc. This is what you're looking for. So this is from Italy. They actually have another one that is called crystal gel. There is more. It's a lot easier to pour. It's very uh, liquid, and then it kind of like stabilizes after 24 hours. This is more like like a gel. So it's if you want to just patch a little bit that you remove, you can use this one. If you remove entire on a board, which I can show you in a second. Uh, yeah, this is. Let me get one. Trying to get a board that you guys can see. I don't have one. Oh, yeah, I have one open in here. Yeah, this is a good sample. So this is a board that I don't have a light. I was going to try to put a light in here, but these uses that gel. Like right here, you can see it. I remove it to work on this computer, but you can then, when you remove this much, you want to like use the crystal gel. That's the name of the gel itself. It's got to be ordered from Italy, so probably not easy to get now for what is going on in the world, right? So let me put this away. So before I got the capacitors gone, I got a tray in here where I keep all the electronics. But yeah, so this is it's called one gel. It's completely safe for electronics and everything. So you can get this. I found it on Amazon, and MG Chemicals they sell it too. So all right, so it looks like the board is pretty much ready to install. I want to just dust it out, so I will probably just clean a little more, but that's how I do it, guys. So um, another thing, if you're not going to be using your electronics, especially this one, they are now hot. They're staying like around 300 degrees. So if you're not going to use it, like now, I'm done. Turn it off. Same thing with this. Because otherwise, you're consuming electricity that you don't really need, and also you're burning the elements internally on those without necessity. If you're working in a constant flow, then you keep it warm, but you don't, I don't have to. All right, guys, so let me put this together and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm going to try something different today. So I'm going to record the installation. Sorry if it's a little too long video. Um, I want to try because, with the GoPro, I cannot really do zoom if I'm using the 4K. So I go down to like 2.7K, which is almost 4K what YouTube can use. So in this way, I can really use Zoom. So I want to try that for this video and let's see how it goes. So I'm going to start a recording and I usually go like this so it's on the same time. So it's now that my hand will be nice for me to sync and cut that part. All right, so another thing that I want to say is make sure, we remove the microprocessor sync bar, so we need to make sure that we put thermal paste in there. Very important. Easy to get from Amazon as well. Okay, this is going to be a little bit in my way. You can use the background. It's not the way we're going to be using anything in there. I cleaned the laptop somehow as much as I could. The board is nice and clean. So I'm going to put the screws on these sides so they're a lot easy for me to see what I need to install. Hopefully I remember everything good. Get the screwdriver off of here. I love this thing. It's so handy. Oh, I need to get the bits that I got in here. Because that set doesn't have the ones that I need for here, but I have it here. So I'm going to use a T5, if I am correct. The Pentalo 5. Done. Should be P5. Should have done this before starting the video, but sorry. Where are you? Right here. It's AP5. And then the 00 Phillips. Just want to put those here. I know that those are the ones that I'm going to need. I'm going to try to keep the bore always in this position. So we want to make sure that we can put all those connections as we fit this in. I'm looking at this board too, and it has a little bit of a burn on this connector here, which I didn't work on that. So these three connections are going to be tricky to do. I got a 4-1 here. Hopefully I don't put this too much in the way. Sometimes I want to get the gloves away from my hand. Good to have tools, but I think like I said again, I crowded too much this. It's making it hard to find what I need. I'll move this a little bit here so I can get some of this stuff out. I need to have all this in here for now. Just gonna put it here. Looking for that pick. Alright, we got this one and the blue one. I think the blue one might be the best one to do this. Charging port is the one that's a little hard to get in there with the guides they have in there. This glass is really good. I'm very happy. Took a right decision. Buy a lot of the stuff in Facebook because you can read reviews from real buyers, and they're people like you and me. So no, I mean I'm sorry, but some other websites you try to buy things and they're like 1,000 reviews and it's all fake. Okay, well, we gotta go that way. Sure, I'm here correct. And this gotta be a card reader. Hmm. We're kind of in the right spot. Make sure these boards are in the right direction too. That's that. Feels like I still need to go that way a little bit. And now all the connections in here are under it. It's gonna suck a little bit. What a nightmare. Should have done this a little easy. Okay, that looks a little better. Trying to flip this rubber protector to the way it goes. Now is this one in here? It went down again. Yeah, it looks a lot better. Make sure GoPro is still good. Actually, I can go a little bit that way. The arm is a little bit on the way. I'm gonna have to play with that. So put him on the side. I guess be easy to make it go sideways. This one is not in the right spot. Now it is. Mm-hmm. Let me put a couple of screws in here just to hold the board in place. And oh yeah, this works perfectly. So the ones that got no thread on one spot are going in here. Just one, probably one is enough because I have to make these ribbons go in place. Sorry, the arm is gonna go in the way, but I need to see. Yeah, everything is all right. Yeah, here. Well, let's see how it goes with this ones now. This one is good to go. Hopefully this is not gonna fight me too much. Make sure the flap is up before you reconnect. All right, perfect. That went in. Beautiful. And that's just a protector. Sorry guys, I need to connect that. Make sure flap is up, and it is. You want to work with plastic tools in here. Protect them for scratches on these ribbons cables. They're very very strong, but not if you use the metal. No metal tools in here. All right, it's looking good too. Mm-hmm. I know I'm a little bit on your way, but I mean, it's going to happen. At least I'm showing the majority. Gotta be very careful with this ones. Make sure they're lined up correctly and then just put them in. I can put this ribbon cable here. hmm This one goes first. hmm Need to get a rag and clean the old paste from there. Again, that's just a transferring paste for temperature. Be gentle when you're cleaning, but nothing like crazy. So don't be scared to clean it. And I need to get the other parts, right? Where are they? Right here. Not sure how much you can see or not from there. Put this away. That's the angle. And you'll probably go a little backwards so you guys can see a little more. No matter what, I got the GoPro on top of the computer. This one, I don't need it just yet. Again, it's amazing. Sometimes you got a big desk like this and it goes to smaller when you start. I gotta get, used to a setup for this. All right, so you can put the fans first. Let me get this. Just some position. They're nice and clean. And put, not none screws, just one. When I position things, that I don't need yet, that I don't need yet. I need the rubbers that goes in here. Let me clean this thermal paste in here as well. And this is nothing just by like a copper bar, and you need to remove this because I mean this thermal paste is really dry. Most of the problems that the Xbox had and some of the computers too that they can start getting like overheating is because the thermal paste loses its properties, and then there's not enough to release the temperature. All right, so I need the rubbers that goes here. Just trying to position things. So these I can actually put them on the heat sink. I'm correct. Yes, just 1 second position this here. So yeah, I think that's the best thing to do. This should have it stay here, but it's easy. They got an open on the actual gasket, so you can just do this. You can put it correctly, right? Nope. I make it modern. Okay, yes. I saw pictures on the internet from a board without removing this. So not sure if I did the correct disassemble, but there is no guide on removing and install of this thing. So again, I'm just going to position it to make sure that we're good. hmm That's good. All right, we have that. I'm gonna put it just in here for 1 second. I want to put that hopefully I'm not too much in your way, guys. Where is that? Right here. Ceramic tweezer. Put this in here. Mhm. All right, I can put bolts now. This is going to be for fans and that, and these are the bolts for the board itself. Like I said, you can use this by hand because I don't want to put. I like to tie the finish by hand because I don't want to break a bolt or damage it because of a torque from a tool. This one is full thread. We're good in here as far as using this one. Make sure the charging port looks good. And I put those two separate here. So one was with full thread and the other one with, as you see here, the one with like full thread goes on the other hole. So you can use this as a regular screwdriver or electric, either way you want. I really, really like this tool. And as far as I've been reading, it says that the charge lasts like 8 hours, and then it takes like 1 hour to fully charge it, which I mean is perfect. I think I went too fast in here. It's not a, I don't have a bolt under here. I do. Yep, that's fine. And the other nice thing about this screwdriver is that it does work even without the battery. So you can use it as a regular screwdriver in case, you're working and the battery went dead, no problem. need to put the bolt under here too. And that's what I like to have, clear colors, like I just drop a bolt in there, but on the screw, keep saying bolts. And please give me a break sometimes. Remember, this is my second language. I'm from Costa Rica, so I know it's very obvious for my accent, but I'll try my best. Yeah. And we should have only one left. No, I have one more. Okay. Looks like dinner is ready. Make sure I'm not. Yeah, that's fine. I'm missing one from here. Hmm. Wondering why. Alright, guys, I gotta stop the video. I'm going for lunch. I mean, for for dinner. So let me stop the GoPro too. And let me stop here. Alright, guys, I'm back after a good dinner. Thanks to my mother-in-law. Let's turn this on. I need to do this soon. That's about good. Hopefully this recording is good on the GoPro. It's a shame that they cannot let you use a zoom in 4K because supposedly the sensor is in the maximum blah blah blah. Alright, so we'll start the GoPro now. So right there. Okay, so we're missing one screw, right? Wondering, maybe I put them in the wrong spot in the box. So what I would do, so just since that one is very accessible, I'm not in, in any hurry to find it. So it's going to connect the fans now. Going this way, just 1 second, guys. Something to get lost or loose. And this ribbon came out of the position. If I remember, you were down in there. Yeah, you go here. Yep, that's exactly how this ribbon will go. Okay, we'll try to position everything in place in as gentle as possible. And these ribbons are very easy to install. You gotta make sure that that clip is up. It has a glue in there. We can put our car back in place as well. Let me move this. Sometimes this is also a heatsink, but this is like a paste. you don't need to replace that one. That's it's actually a very very good heat sink that stays with the component. Yeah, and that ribbon goes under this one. I got the bolt for this one separate, completely with that card. Not sure if that is a Wi-Fi card or what it is, but again, you want to start when, especially if you're using something like this by hand to make sure that the actual screw bolt is going soft. That I was in, and it wasn't. These ribbons are, or these cables are very problematic if you don't put it correctly, because you can open up the connector itself. Be sure this is not the case here. No, it's all good. You have to go straight or they don't go in. Noticing. Perfect, and just make sure that this is on the other side of the pin. Gotta make sure that nothing gets, pressed by the cover later on. Positioning this one in there. What's the next plug? This one I think they just sit from the top. Mm-hmm. So far everything is going nice and smooth. And my next one will be this one. Okay, I can put you there. And there also apply the same thing on these ones. The one with the full thread is the one that holds the solid hole. Of course, it's not in the right spot yet. Okay, now it is. Gotta be careful with the processor not to drop anything on it. Looks really good. We have this. And I know now where the screw is. It is not belong there. See, I put this screw here because it's the same thread and that doesn't belong in there. Yeah, and that is the exact screw that I'm missing here. I'll show you in 1 second. I need to get this out. Hopefully, just with that one. I can probably move this cable. Yeah. Just straight. See, I put that one in there thinking that, yeah, perfect. Is the right screw, and it wasn't. So I wasn't missing any. That's why, I didn't rush to do the search for it because I know that I have everything organized. Probably, it's like I said, I thought maybe by mistake I put them in the wrong one, but I know that I am very meticulous that way. Wow. And I think I didn't need to tie that one up because this is the one that holds this in place. Yes, sir. Now this is easy to do. And I gotta tell you, with the experience of being a mechanic for a long time, I can feel when a screw bolt it reaches his. This should have a nozzle. Maybe not. Should be good enough. Put that there. There's already a hair in there. I am full. I like it. So just make sure you cover the processor area. No air gaps. That's what I'm using this as a palette or That is good. Oop, and now I did a mess in there. Not really a problem, but it was not my intention. I mean, that is not conductive, so not really a problem. That's good enough. See, I'm putting too many screws. I have to remove this one. This is already starting to grab the the sync bar or heat bar. Put that there. Actually, no, that's not installed. That is just a different wall now, I remember. On this side. So, oops, sorry guys. Didn't notice that I had that arm completely on the camera. But at least you're seeing it on, on both. So that one is a very minuscule screw that I have here. If I drop it, I can see where. Like I just did. Why is this coming loose? That is a Phillips. I'll take this one by hand. That's good. Now we can put all the fans and the processor. Gotta come up with an idea to set up this camera a little different. Might be impossible, especially using this zoom glass. Gotta put all here. I think I have one bolt for something else in there. looks like one of the molds for the board itself. Weird that I took it from here. Because I know those four are for the, without a doubt, for the heat sink. Is that the red? It wasn't here. Let me take a look. Look there. Screen. Mark it. So we're good in there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Let's get the balls in here. I put them here. And we got those rubber caps for microprocessor, bolts. I'm gonna check the camera. I'm gonna drop this one in the floor. And this one, please don't mix with that. It's good. That's why it's good to keep it on a clean tray. That glue can be reused. The one that keeps it in place. I mean, it's not really that important, but this base is a mess. Try not to get it on the rubber thing. And I just drop. Yep. Perfect. I like to share my struggles doing this too. Some people think it's easy now. I mean, obviously, with practice and doing it on normal basis, like Louis Rosman or Paul Daniels, of course you get a lot faster, no doubt about it. It's like me doing mechanic work. Plus, again, when you're doing repetition of the same repairs is definitely, you know, just by eye, what to remove, what not to remove, which each ball goes. That's what I applaud them, because they're working one brand only, especially Lewis, and he's very good at what he does. Trying to get the arm away from the camera, the GoPro, so the capture in there is the best possible. All right, one more look. Sorry, guys. Gotta inspect. Make sure I'm not leaving nothing off. Everything looks pretty good. hmm We got a ribbon to put here and then the protector on there. That one really good. And this one goes in the center. Just doing the last visual inspection. I didn't want to clean this so much because this has some small paste or glue to keep this in place. Thermal paste that will dry up and stay there, so that's not a problem. And I don't see nothing else. Yeah, just one quick like last inspection in this corner. Make sure this is fine, and it is. Mhm. All right, so I can put the bottom cover. Mhm. And should be the pendulum. It almost looks like a torch, but it's not. I get them all here. Oop, just drop one. Starting to feel a lot better. We're almost done with this. The same Loctite they put it. Sometimes it makes it go like really hard. Not too far from the view. And I'm gonna tell you, aging sucks. It's good because I mean, you get knowledge, but there is a point where you start losing your vision, and at the end of the day, you feel a lot more tired than when you were younger. But at least it's part of life, right? It's inevitable, but it still sucks. Mhm. These two in the back are shorter. Yep, I didn't notice that. I think looking at the cover. Mm, no, it's not this one. With reinstall. Let's see. Yeah, that one feels perfect. Let me see. This doesn't look good. This is too long. See, that's what happens when you don't put attention. I'm gonna have to go by one by one to see where it is. I think I removed this one before, right? And this is not. This is not. That is weird. I thought I removed this one, and it wasn't. And this is the one. Okay, at least I found it. Try to remove it completely. Notice it was a short one. The short one works with the big one, but not with the big one and the short one. So these two are the only ones that are short. The rest are all same. Okay. All right, guys. The moment of truth first is charger, and let's cross our fingers, make sure everything is fine. And I got so much stuff connected under here that I'm not sure if I got room for this. So yeah, I think I got one. I got it hooked up under the desk, so no wires on the floor. So we can make sure we got light that I didn't have before. Come on. Hmm. Doesn't feel like it's reaching the connector well. These are very magnetic. Perfect. Ooh, that got me scared. All right, guys, we got the light and we got a sound already. That's weird. Okay, we got the apple. That's it, guys. This is a good to go, completely successful repair. I'm going to cover information and let it, do a stand, but this is private information here. Make sure it boots, but I can make sure I stop this one. Perfect. It's still in the bar with the apple, so I'm going to just wait for a little bit. Yep, this is a good to go. Let me just do a login here. Make sure the touch works. Sorry guys, you cannot see this, but it's private. One more time. Keyboard is working. Yeah, the battery is completely dead. It's in the 1%. But it is gone. Just to show you guys, we got everything going on. So computer is working 100%. This is a successful repair. So this is it, guys. Thank you so much, and I see you next time. Have a good night. Bye bye.